Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Rachel. Today I wanted to do a really quick video for you focusing on a really natural look. Something that you can feel confident in, that your skin looks great in. You've got a really nice internal glow, but it's also very natural at the same time. We don't always feel like being over the top. Sometimes we just want a little bit of glam to make us feel confident and comfortable in our own skin. This is a great look for the office or like mom's day out. So if you're interested in this look, keep watching. Okay guys, so the first thing I started out using was the Touch Glorious Primer. Primer is super important to get your skin ready for foundation. It's going to help fill in any pores or fine lines and wrinkles and also help extend the wear of your foundation. So I just kind of rub it in, get it spread out. This particular primer, it doesn't take much, just a little pea-sized amount like I showed you. And I rub it in, and then I like to let my primer set and do its work for about 5 minutes. Alright, so while my primer is setting, I'm going to use some lip scrub. This is optional, but my lips have been feeling really dry, so I'm just going to do a little lip scrub, scrub off the dead skin, make sure they're good and smooth. It kind of just helps revitalize them and bring some blood to the surface. So I'm just going to go ahead and scrub that in. Alright, so I'm wiping it off, and then I like to use the Hottie Lip Plumper. This is also just an optional step, but that just helps plump your lips, bring some blood to the surface. It doesn't hurt, it does tingle a little bit, tastes like peppermint, so I really like it. Alright, so while my primer is continuing to set, I'm going to use a little bit of brow product. I like this Gimme Brow from Benefit. It's the color 3.5. And the girl with the brow bar, when she did my brows last time, she used this on me and I really liked it. She said to kind of just wiggle it into your brow so that it kind of stains the skin a little bit and then just work it through. Okay, and then I like to take a brow pencil. I'm using Younique's brow pencil in medium. I like a little bit more of a pronounced line under my brow. I think it pulls it together a little bit more nicely. So I'm gonna go ahead and sketch underneath and then fill in as needed. At the end, I kind of just go through and comb my brow again to soften up any harsh lines. And yeah, I've been filling in my brows for a minute, but you know what? I like my brows to look a certain way. So I just keep filling them in. Just work it till it looks good. Alright, so it's time for foundation. I'm using the Mineral Touch Liquid Foundation by Younique in the color Organza. This is a liquid that dries to a powder. It's about a medium coverage, but you can layer it to be full coverage. So shake it up, make sure you squeeze the tip. I put 4 or 5 drops on a powder puff brush, and then I just kind of dot it across my face to spread the product. Now, when you go to blend this in, you're going to want to use very light pressure and just kind of lightly glide the brush across the skin. That's going to actually get you the best coverage. With this liquid foundation, the harder you press, the worse the coverage is going to be. So you want to use a really light hand. If you get to this point and you're not liking the coverage, you can always do a round 2. Just make sure it dries in between. All right, and then I have really dark under eye circles. I like to use a yellow color corrector for that, and I'm using the Lancome yellow color corrector, and I just follow where the bags under my eyes are. So if you see how I'm just dotting it under the bags, and then I'm gonna let that set a minute. At this point, I usually go in the bathroom, get my blending bud wet, and then come back and tap it out. All right, so now we're gonna go in with the Tarte Shape Tape. So I'm gonna get my Tarte Shape Tape out, a brush, make sure I have my wet blending bud, and I'm just gonna take that Tarte Shape Tape and dot it out where I want it to go. So the Tarte Shape Tape, you don't need that much, and if you just go straight in with the applicator, you're gonna get way too much product. So I like to dot it out first, and then go in with a brush to kind of smooth it out. So I'm using a cream shadow brush, and I'm just gonna kind of put that product where I want it. I'm kind of tapping it so I don't disturb that yellow color corrector. But this triangle shape that you see me doing under my eye is gonna do a lot to help cover up under eye bags and dark circles. It's gonna help redirect the light. And then I'm just doing some highlighting action while I've got it out, down the bridge of my nose, upper lip, cleaning up around my brows, any mess that I have made as well. So after I've got everything smoothed out where I want it, I take my wet beauty blender and I just kind of tap it just to make sure everything's together, cohesive, there's no harsh lines. You don't want to blend so much it blends it away, but you want it to look very natural. All right, so we've blended. I'm gonna go in with some translucent setting powder. This is super dirty. This is my makeup, and I'm clumsy, y'all. I make a mess. So I just shook it a little bit so I could get some on top of the mesh, and I'm just gonna tap that in everywhere that I put the concealer. Now, I'm not super oily. If you do get oily, you can put this all over your face, but I'm just gonna go ahead and set where that concealer was and make sure we don't lose that during the day. And I'm just using a little bit. I'm not a fan of baking on myself. I think it turns cakey, and it has a tendency to accentuate any fine lines I have under my eyes. So I just lightly pat it on there. Okay, and then I'm going in with a pressed powder from Younique. This is the color Crepe. And I'm just gonna tap that in for a little extra coverage. So I'm just putting that everywhere I didn't put the concealer, just to give me a little more coverage. Don't forget to blend your neck and ears. That's gonna help it keep it looking really natural. The idea is to have everything kind of match. So, and then I just blend. Blending is the key, always blend. Okay, so now I'm going in with eyeshadow palette 1. I'm gonna use the color Elated all over the lid. Everywhere we put that concealer, I'm gonna set it with this Elated color. And I love eyeshadow palette 1 because it's so natural. You can do a little or a lot with it. We're gonna do just a little today. And I used a big blending brush for the first brush. This is a fluffy crease brush. I'm taking my second color, working it into the crease, and I'll put all the colors below as well. But these are all out of eyeshadow palette 1. So I'm just kind of opening my eye, putting that in my crease. I have hooded eyes, so I keep my eyes open when I do this so I can see exactly where my crease needs to go. And if you guys want more of a tutorial on hooded eyes, I can go into depth on why I do that later, but now I'm just going to go ahead and blend. All right, now I have a regular crease brush, not a fluffy crease brush, and I'm gonna go in with this darker brown color. I'm gonna put this in my crease to darken things up. This is kind of like when you contour your face, you can contour your eyes as well and help them to pop. So I'm putting that in the crease on both sides. And then I'm gonna go ahead and take it down in kind of a triangle shape. That's gonna help elongate the eye and lift the eye. If you want to think of it as a backwards number 7, sometimes that helps me, but it gives a little bit of lift the same way that a wing would give your eye lift. And then I'm going to go ahead and just smoke it out a little bit. I'm just taking that same color and going underneath the eye as well. All right, so we are blending again. Blending is key. You can do whatever you want, and if you blend, it's pretty much gonna turn out right. So just keep blending until it looks good. All right, and then I'm gonna go in with this sparkly color, which I will list below. And I'm putting that on the inside corner just to help open my eyes up, making me look more awake. It's just a little accent, so we're gonna blend that in. It's kind of like a sparkly gold. It's super pretty on. All right, guys, now it's time for lashes. I'm gonna use a little bit of lash primer. This is a white lash primer from Younique. It's got 3 different types of oil in it. It actually has vitamins that help your lashes stay healthy, kind of like when you condition your hair, you get all that great benefit. So it's conditioning our lashes, and it's also gonna curl them and give us a really good base for our mascara. And that's just gonna help us not use so much mascara. It's gonna help our mascara to go on super smooth, not gonna be clumpy because we're not overusing it, and we're gonna get really good length. Okay, so now we are to mascara. My favorite one-step mascara to use is Younique's Epic Mascara. There's no fibers, you just put it on like a regular mascara, but it does have polymers that help build out the length, and it curls as you use it. So I really like the results you get from this mascara. I usually do about 3 coats, just because I like a longer lash and it doesn't get clumpy on me. So I'm just kind of still working it in. So next I went back to my face, and I've already done this, but I want to show you what I did. So this is just a bronzer. This is a split tin bronzer in the color Malibu. Split tin meaning one side is shimmer and one side is matte, but I kind of just mix it together. I do a 3 shape on my cheeks like I was showing you, and then do the sides of my nose and blend it out. And that just gives you a really subtle glow, a really subtle contour. Helps highlight your cheekbones a little bit. And then I go in with a pop of blush. This is the color Surreal, and put it right on the apples of my cheeks. Focusing that blush up a little bit higher is going to help lift your face and accentuate your cheekbones as well. And then we're going to do lips. I'm just using the color Pouty. This is a lip liner by Younique as well. It is transfer resistant and waterproof, so I'm lining my lips. I personally do my whole lip and just not the outside. I think that acts as a really good primer for whatever lipstick you're using. So I just fill in the whole thing, really perfect the shape. Alright, next I'm going to use Snarky liquid lipstick. It's a splash liquid lipstick by Younique in the color Snarky. This is a really good kind of everyday neutral. When I use these liquid lipsticks, I make sure to wipe them off. Less is more. The less you have, this is with any liquid lipstick, the quicker they are going to dry. And most, once they dry, they are smudge resistant and transfer resistant. If you put a bunch on though, that's going to take a while, and that's where you end up getting the mess. And then I go in with a highlighter. This is a la mode highlighter in the color Benevolent. I put a little bit in my Cupid's bow. I think that just helps accentuate your lips, make them look a little bit fuller. And then I do my nose, under my brow, and my cheekbones as well. Alright, and then I'm going to finish off with a setting spray. This setting spray is going to help the colors pop and help the makeup kind of melt into your skin, look really natural, and last all day. So that's the finished look, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you have questions, drop them below. Thanks!